Hey everyone, I'm Charting Man Dan, trader and technical analyst with the Chart Guys, and in this video we're going to go over the broader market because we're at a pretty clear crossroads right now where the Nasdaq is either a cup and handle that's about to see new significant 52-week highs or a double top that's going to roll over into more weakness than we've seen in the last couple of months. I'll show you the key levels that I'm watching to help us determine the probabilities of which is more likely. Let's look at the charts. So we had the S&P 500 hit a new 52-week high to end last week. And going into this week, one of the major things that we were watching is, does the NASDAQ join and hit a new 52-week high as well? And the answer so far is no. We double topped and rejected from that level. Yesterday, we failed by 33 pennies. And today, we had a gap down open and some morning weakness. So we are going to look for the answer to the question, is this a healthy daily high or low for continuation of an uptrend? Holding daily EMA 12, filling this gap here, which was a short-term target for bears, or is this the sign of a bigger shift? And it's all about the NASDAQ for me. And so we have this potential cup and handle pattern where you fail to break resistance, and then if you form a bull flag in an uptrend, it's a potential cup and handle. So tomorrow's a pretty important day for me, and holiday week, and it's a Friday. I don't normally anticipate, Fridays to be key, but whether we're red or green tomorrow is going to have some significant implications for me in the short term because, again, we got the gap fill at 364.89 here, and we're bouncing right off daily EMA 12. And if the bulls are able to confirm an hourly uptrend tomorrow by holding the low of today and following through on the bounce, then it's a daily bull flag, and it's a potential cup and handle. So key for me is 364.52. If we break the low of today, whether it's tomorrow or on Monday, that to me would decrease the probability significantly that it's a cup and handle, and it would increase the probabilities that this double top rejection is meaningful and maybe marking a longer term period of consolidation. Because of the prevailing uptrend, for me it's burden on bears, which was the title of the YouTube video yesterday, where bears need to prove to me that this is not a cup and handle. I need to see signs that the daily uptrend is at risk of being lost. Because again, QQQ has been giving us higher lows and higher highs the entire month of May, the entire month of June, and now into the start of July. Semiconductors had a more convincing rejection yesterday. So high, higher low, lower high, and we have a really nice tightening range. 147.16 was the low of today, and we held this low by 33 pennies. So it's an equilibrium. I'm just viewing this as a higher low, lower high pattern, and the burden is on the bulls to gain the hourly uptrend, solid bounce after morning weakness, but tomorrow we must confirm an hourly uptrend for the daily higher low to be set to continue tightening up. And if we get that, then we're going to anticipate that this tightening range is going to break next week, probably within the first 3 days of that week. So bulls trying to set that higher low. And then again, semiconductors next week would definitely be a top watch if we get that, because as we know as traders, we seek tightening ranges, knowing that when tightening ranges break, they open up volume and volatility and opportunity. And right now we've got a clear tightening range. NVDA, very similar. Anything above 401 is a higher low. The bulls have a little bit more space to work with above support, but it's the same tightening daily range that will likely break early next week. And just a reminder, end of next week, we head into next earnings season with the financial sector reporting first. Tesla started daily consolidation with an inside bar bear break. Nice bit of follow through once we broke that 277.60 level first thing. And we're looking at the gap fill down at 264.45. The hourly, we will be watching for first oversold conditions because it is coming from a significant move, the reaction that we had to the delivery numbers and the continuation of the uptrend. So we're watching the hourly as our guide. And right now, we have lost the hourly uptrend, but we have not confirmed an hourly downtrend. So bears would have to break 272.88 to confirm an hourly downtrend and have us heading towards daily oversold conditions and a test of daily EMA 12 support. But overall, no red flags on the Tesla daily chart at this point. We would have to get back, half of this move this is where we use our fib retracements. If we give back half of the move from 240 up to 284, then there's a red flag. But anything less than that, healthy consolidation. Healthcare, back down testing this base of support at 130. And again, for me, the most likely scenario is a weekly lower high and tightening range because prices love to go from volatility to shrinking tightening ranges. And so we're watching for that to shape up. If we break 130, that lower high will be set, and we'll be looking back down at 125.53 as the most important level. And again, this is going to have significant implications for me, the direction that this breaks, in terms of the broader market. And we're anticipating a break sometime within the next 2 months. The financial sector, big pullback, gap filled, and bouncing right off daily EMA 12. So again, morning weakness. And we didn't quite see all major sectors at the lows together. Again, we're watching for QQQ, XLF, XLV to all be the low of the day at the same time. And we were close this morning, but didn't officially get there. And we bounced all second half of the day. So can the bulls confirm an hourly uptrend tomorrow to set a daily higher low in the financial sector? And I am still keeping an eye out for the potential of this to be a rising wedge type of pattern. And now like that, bulls would want to hold where we are bouncing from to try and keep that uptrend support going. IWM, big drop from its double top, but we also held support. 180.05. If the bulls can confirm an hourly uptrend, we've got a tightening daily range into next week. Keep in mind, IWM will likely react a good bit to the financial sector earnings because the financial sector is one of the major sectors in IWM. Got a question while I was live streaming today asking, should I be looking to take some profit on an IWM swing short? And my answer is, anytime you're this extreme beat up, the hourly RSI was down at 11, the 15-minute RSI was down at 14. Anytime you're that beat up, heading into a key clear support, never a bad idea to take partial profit, at least partial profit. Because we know that, if I'm, just put yourself in the reverse scenario. If I'm looking to play a bounce, my ideal kind of bounce is as extreme oversold as possible into a key support level. And so that's what IWM had, and we'll see if we get the tightening daily range if the bulls show up tomorrow for some bounce follow through. XPEV, daily inside bar. If we break bear, we'll be heading towards first hourly oversold conditions to scout a daily higher low. So again, I've just been patiently watching and waiting to see if that setup presents itself to me. AI, significant volatility yet again. The common theme here. Look at the drop. Big drop on the morning. Down 7% plus into a 11% bounce. Everybody's feasting here, bulls and bears. And so overall, keeping the little higher lows going and still dip buying is alive here. PLTR, big bear drop on the morning, but a significant bounce here as well. And a tightening range, same as NVDA, high, low, lower high, trying to form the higher low and continue tightening up. So some nice tightening daily ranges forming. So one thing that I've been trying to work on as a trader, and again, there's always things to improve upon. I'm on year 13 of trading, and over the past few years, I've been trying to get better at swing trading. And another thing that I've been trying to get better at is recognizing when I'm wrong and stopping out. That's trading 101, but then quickly flipping in the other direction. Because for the majority of my trading career, if I look for a setup and I make my entry and I stop out and I'm wrong, that's it. I take a step back or I move on to another trade, where there are plenty of setups where that can be a signal to be looking in the other direction. So today was an example where I did that well, where we've been seeing these crypto stocks with bulls buying the morning dips consistently. So I said, all right, I'll give it a try. MARA. So first thing on the morning, and this is just an example of, a day trader. I made 4 decisions this morning in the first 4 minutes of trading. And unfortunately, when I'm moving that fast, I can't be typing out, my mindset or what I'm thinking or what I'm doing. But entry right out of the gate, on MARA, the low of the day was 1564. We had bounced a little bit off the low of the day at that point. So I make an entry to see if the bulls are going to show up yet again and keep the hourly uptrend. I then sell partial, quick 1% move. We're up 1% in a minute and a half. All right, I'm taking half of that position off. So now I'm very comfortable where my break even is under the low of the day. So stop under the low of the day, can't lose. Then I recognize some red flags. I recognize the NASDAQ is not getting any bounce. I recognize that we're giving back too much of that initial move up. And so I just exit the second half. And so it ends up being a small win, insignificant. But you can see in the 1 minute and 7 seconds from when I exited long and said, nah, I don't want to be long this with how this is shaping up, I then jump into a short on Riot. And I chose Riot just because, generally speaking, MARA has been stronger and Riot has been weaker. It fluctuates day to day. So there's some luck involved if you're choosing the stronger one or the weaker one. But again, in terms of probability, if MARA has been stronger 8 out of the last 10 days, I'm going to long MARA and short Riot to try and have those probabilities in my favor. But at that point in time, it was 9:34 and was recognizing the red flags for the bulls, and we were heading down and had just broken the low of the day. And so that made me a little bit more confident. Okay, Riot little bull move into a new low of the day. I'm jumping in. And then from that point of 1959, that entry, I was definitely scaling out some of that short on the way down, but a 5% drop and a really nice turnaround. I then ended up playing a little bit of the bounce, posted about this 5 minute. We were at a spot where we had space for the 5 minute higher low to be the result of this pullback, and QQQ was testing the low of the day. So when I went long, I said, if QQQ double bottoms or breaks the low of the day with zero follow through, I'm going to enter one of these crypto stocks looking for a 5 minute higher low because they had more space to work with. So I know that even if QQQ breaks the low of the day, as long as it doesn't follow through, a 5 minute higher low is the most likely scenario. And so as soon as we double bottomed and started that bounce, I grabbed, I forget which one it was, whether it was Riot or MARA, but confirmed the 5 minute uptrend and had nice bounce follow through. So again, another example, not only the AI names, I keep talking about these sectors because of the daily opportunity, but a pullback of 8% and a move up of 6%. And then of course, a 15-minute equilibrium, tightening range, played out very nicely. Broke bull without much follow through at the end of the day. So still watching for the potential of daily consolidation here, but bulls keep buying the dips on both AI and crypto stocks right now. So that will have to change if anything is going to change. So that is, nope, I'm not done. The dollar, scouting a weekly lower high, double top on the daily at this point, and we would have to drop down and break 102.75 if we were going to see a clear weekly lower high being set. Otherwise, we're just trading sideways here for a bit. The metals gave back that pop. Again, you got to be skeptical when you're trading counter trend. All right, nice bounce, gold, but you haven't broken the daily lower highs at any point on this pullback. You haven't confirmed a daily uptrend at any point on this pullback. Prove it. So gold has to hold 1893 and break 1935 to confirm the daily uptrend if anything is going to change. If that does not happen, nothing about the last month and a half, 2 months, changes. So the trend continues unless we see the trend change. Silver, daily uptrend confirmed with zero follow through. That's not surprising. We knew the silver bulls weren't going anywhere unless gold could do something, and gold isn't doing anything at this point. And the miners gave back their whole move, testing the lows right now. No daily uptrend. And again, bulls have to prove to us that a bottom is being set, and I'm not going to have any confidence in that unless we see dollar weakness. The dollar has to show me that it's setting a weekly lower high for me to have any confidence in metals or miners. Oil is still testing resistance of 72.72 and not breaking it, so the tightening daily range remains. Burden on bears to reject that price convincingly and have us head back down towards 70. In natural gas, the 12-hour equilibrium from yesterday broke bear, and that was at 266. Not a whole lot of follow through, but a few percent. So the daily uptrend is lost. Daily EMA 12, we closed below it for the first time in a number of weeks, and weekly consolidation is underway. Now we look for a weekly higher low compared to 213, and it's just a question of how much do we retrace before that weekly higher low shapes up. But it was a nice and clear shift here when that 12-hour equilibrium broke bare. Nice lower wick, but bulls got to confirm a 4-hour uptrend if we're going to call that a bear break with no follow-through. So again, my daily routine is I don't really have to be looking for setups. I'm obviously doing that, but I know every day I'm trading MARA and Riot. And if not, then I'm trading PLTR and AI. And that has literally been my last 6+ weeks of trading. And, I obviously need to do a little bit of work to know which direction I'm looking to trade them and mark out some key levels and things like that. But it's ideal when you're a day trader where you can just latch on. Remember when I was trading the biotech sector every day for a while, and then it just stopped giving me the volatility that I was looking for. And it's actually returned a little bit here, but it's just an example of just moving around and following the volatility, because things have wide volatility and wide ranges, and then they start to constrict and tighten up. And then we move on to something else. And that keeps the opportunities flowing when you're able to jump around to the volatility. And I know there's a number of things where you can view it two ways. You could say you want to get familiar with trading just a number of names and stick with those names. And I agree with that, but you want to have a number of volatile names that you jump around to. We have our go-tos like Tesla or NVDA or names like that we can get very comfortable with and trade often. But if you're a day trader, I highly suggest being open-minded to jumping around where the volatility presents itself. All right, do good things. Appreciate you watching. Hope you have a great weekend. Still going to be watching names like Baba for a weekly higher low to try and form. A little bit of a falling wedge type setup with the bear break starting to lack follow through. But the bulls have to prove to us that the weekly higher low is set. If we're going to set up a weekly trend change to try and set up a monthly higher low, to try and set up a monthly inverse head and shoulders, number of names have that set up. XPEV already came off of the low. Coin, another crypto name, is trying to set up the inverse head and shoulders, but only if the broader market stays strong. And I care most about, is the NASDAQ a cup and handle, or is it a double top rejection? And over the next 2 days, we're going to get a lot of information in terms of the probabilities of that question.